Welcome to The Impossible Shift, the podcast where we explore how small shifts in perception can create extraordinary transformation. I'm your host, Jennifer, author, storyteller, and believer that the most powerful change begins from within. Each week, we'll unpack one of the core pillars that shape this journey, from confidence and abundance to possibility and transformation. Together, we'll uncover how seeing yourself differently can open doors you once thought were impossible. So take a deep breath, open your mind, and let's begin the impossible shift. I used to think the impossible was something out there, a mountain to climb, a dream to chase. But the real impossible shift, it happens inside, in that quiet moment when you stop doubting your own power. When I first wrote The Impossible Shift, it wasn't meant to be shared. It was a trilogy, something I wrote over a decade ago, a way to process pain I didn't know how to speak aloud. It was private. It was mine. But then something inside me said, maybe it's time. I shared it with my mother, the person who had made such a focal point in that story, and I braced myself for her reaction. Instead, she looked at me and said something I will never forget. She said, "You should publish this." I was stunned. I had written things that weren't easy for her to read, so I asked, why? She said, because your story resonates. It transcends your life. It becomes everyone's story. You can help people. She said it so beautifully written. And she told me I had to share it with the world. But I wasn't ready. Not yet. And then she passed away. And I carried that grief like a weight for years. Until one day I picked up the manuscript again. And I thought, maybe I'll just work on one chapter. And so I did. And then another. And another. And before I knew it, it was done. This mountain, this impossible thing, had become real. That's when I learned that the impossible isn't a mountain to climb, it's a belief to reclaim. And it all began when I stopped doubting myself. Because the impossible isn't out there. It's in here, waiting to be claimed. Until next time, take care. Thank you for joining me on The Impossible Shift. Remember, the world mirrors what you believe about yourself. As you explore these pillars, notice how even the smallest perceptual change can create a ripple in every area of your life. You already have everything you need to make the impossible possible. It all starts with how you choose to see yourself. If this episode inspired you, share it with someone who's ready for their own shift. And until next time, keep believing in what's possible.